Gaming laptops in 2025 look nothing like what they used to be. Remember when you had to choose between performance and battery life? Those days are gone. But here's the thing, the market is flooded with options, and finding the right one between $800 and $1,500 feels like searching for a needle in a haystack. The good news: Reddit communities have been testing these machines for months, and certain models keep showing up in recommendations. Today, we're looking at the laptops that actual gamers swear by. Not the ones with fancy marketing, but the ones that deliver real value. These are the mid-range gaming laptops that can handle everything from Cyberpunk 2077 to Counter-Strike 3 without emptying your bank account. The Asus TUF Gaming A14 is what happens when you take everything good about gaming laptops and squeeze it into something that actually fits in your backpack. This 2025 model packs an Ryzen 9 8900H processor and an RTX 4070 graphics card into a 14-inch chassis that weighs just under 4 pounds. But here's the real question. Can a laptop this small actually handle serious gaming? The answer might surprise you. The 14-inch screen is a 240Hz OLED panel with a 2560 by 1600 resolution, which means everything from your everyday apps to your favorite games looks incredibly sharp and smooth. The colors pop in a way that makes other gaming laptops look dull in comparison. For $3,000 USD, you're getting 32 gigs of RAM and a 2 TB NVMe SD that loads games faster than you can say frame rate. But what's it actually like to use this thing? After gaming on it for the past week, I can tell you it's surprisingly capable. The keyboard has enough travel to feel satisfying, and the RGB lighting isn't too in your face. The cooling system, which Asus calls Ice Cool Plus, keeps the laptop from turning into a hot plate during intense gaming sessions. You can play Cyberpunk 2077 Ultra Edition at high settings and still get around 90 frames per second. Battery life is decent for a gaming laptop, lasting about 6 hours for regular use and 2 hours for gaming. The speakers are actually good enough that you might not need headphones for casual gaming. Port selection includes 2 USB 4 ports, 1 HDMI 2.1, and a USB, a port. It's not the most ports you'll find on a gaming laptop, but it's enough for most setups. The MSI Katana 15 is one of those gaming laptops that makes you wonder, do you really need to spend $3,000 to get serious gaming performance? At $2,000 USD. This laptop packs some serious punch with its Intel Core i9-13900H processor and RTX 4060 graphics card. But what really catches your attention is the 15.6-inch display. It's a 240Hz 1440p panel that makes everything look buttery smooth, whether you're editing videos or trying to spot enemies in Warzone 3. The screen gets bright enough for most situations, hitting around 350 nits, which means you won't be squinting even in well-lit rooms. Let's talk about what it's actually like to game on this thing. I've been using it as my main machine for the past week, and it handles pretty much everything you throw at it. Modern Warfare runs at around 120 frames per second on high settings, and even Starfield keeps a steady 80 FPS with ray tracing turned on. The keyboard feels nice with good key travel, though the RGB lighting is pretty basic compared to more expensive laptops. Temperature management is solid thanks to MS2M's Cooler Boost 5 technology, keeping the palm rest comfortable during long gaming sessions. You get 16 gigs of RAM and a 1 TB NVMe SD, which is plenty for most gamers. Battery life sits around 5 hours for regular use and about 90 minutes when gaming. Port selection is generous: 3 USB 3.2 ports, 1 HDMI 2.1, and Ethernet port. The speakers are okay, nothing special, but you'll probably want to use headphones anyway. The Dell G16 is what happens when you take everything that made gaming laptops great and put it in something that actually looks professional. For $2,500 USD, you're getting an Intel Core i9-14900X processor and an RTX 4070 graphics card. There's that 16-inch display with a 2560 by 1600 resolution running at 240 Hz. It's not old, but this IPS panel still delivers punchy colors and gets bright enough at 400 nits that you won't have any trouble seeing your game, even in a sunny room. The anti-glare coating is a nice touch that keeps reflections from ruining your gaming sessions. Gaming on this laptop feels like driving a sports car that's trying to be subtle about it. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultra Edition runs at about 100 frames per second on high settings, and even with ray tracing turned on, you're still getting smooth gameplay. The keyboard has this nice springy feel with 1.5mm key travel, and the RGB lighting lets you customize without going full disco mode. Dell's new cooling system keeps things running cool even during long gaming sessions, though it can get a bit loud when pushed hard. You get 32 gigs of RAM and a 2TB NVMe SD, and the battery lasts about 5 hours for regular work and 2 hours for gaming. The port selection includes 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, 3 USB, 3 2 ports, an HDMI 2.1, and Ethernet port. The speakers are surprisingly good with decent bass, which isn't something you often hear about gaming laptop speakers.